Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to say something right now, and you may disagree with it, and that's okay. But here it is. Everyone needs to be healed. Now, you may be walking around saying, oh, life is great. There's no issues whatsoever. All right, fantastic for you. But at some point, things will come up in your life where healing needs to take place. What are we healing from? Could be past traumas. You might not even realize you have them in your life. You might not realize what happened when you were a child. Littlest thing in the world is now affecting you in your adult life. We're going to talk about that today. And somebody that helps people heal through many different modalities, including energy. And fascinating that he's got we call it a medical pharmaceutical background, which I think is super cool. So much to learn from him. And he's Dr. Dante Carroll. He joins us on the program today. How you doing?
I am doing great. How about you?
Very well, very well. Good to have you here. Lots of questions. First off, you are a pharmacist, correct?
Yes, I am a pharmacist. I'm an intuitive reader. I am a master Reiki practitioner, just a slew of things.
I love the fact that you blend science, the pharmaceutical side of you, with the spiritual energy side of you and put that all together, like just a powerful combination. What do you hear when you talk with people, Dante, today? Let's say, somebody comes before you, maybe just people in your circle. What are they telling you? What are they struggling with?
A lot of it, the struggle deals with their journey, right? A lot of them are pretty much trying to find their purpose. Why am I here? And that's what my practice actually brings. And that's what I'm actually bringing to the table. So my job is to actually find individuals their purpose and to actually find their journey, right? As we're on our journey, we have a lot of blockages. There's nothing but just energy. And this one, the Reiki energetic part comes into play to help you clear up those energetic blockages. And Reiki does have a touch on the chakra system. And it basically just gets you to your higher self and why you're here and what's your purpose. And that's pretty much about it.
Now we talk about chakras. For anybody that doesn't know, as a layman, I'll say it's 7 major energy areas in your body that can get blocked. Am I saying that right?
Yes, exactly. You're saying it perfect. So basically with the chakra system, it pretty much deals with you getting to your higher self, right? You are dealing with your physical self, which is pretty much dealing with like your lower self, your 9 to 5, your purpose on a physical level. Your spiritual self is more your higher self, like, hey, what is my true calling? If you are here to be a famous painter, be that person. If you're here to be that famous chef, that is what you're called to do. And that's what the chakra system allows you to get to it. It starts with the root chakra first and goes all the way up to the crown chakra. And it just gets you to a point of enlightenment to say, hey, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here.
I've never heard that described that way. So I want to put the microscope on that for just a moment.
Yeah.
Purpose is important. Many believe that we're here for a reason. We didn't just show up. We were here to use our talents to help others. Of course, be compensated for it when that works. But I've never heard it said that our chakras can help give us that clarity to find what our purpose is. Can we go a little bit deeper on that?
Of course. So let's start with the root chakra, right?
Sure.
So the root chakra pretty much deals with like your money, anything like earthly matters. Like, what are things that's holding me back? Like, is it family? Is it relationships? Like, why am I even dealing with this, right? And once you understand, is this relationship serving me or is it a hindrance or am I growing from it? Once you answer that question, boom, you unlock that level. Boom. So now you can move up to the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra basically deals with like your creativity. You know how sometimes we have this mental block. Why can I not think? Why can I not, what's going on? It's because you have too much going on in your environment. Like you're getting pulled in so many directions. It could be kids, it could be family, it can be a whole lot of things. And when you really quiet the mind and really understand what's going on, you're like, wow, okay, I can eliminate this out of my life. Cool. So then you work your way up to the solar plex would deal with your confidence, all right? Your confidence is, standing in your power, not letting others sway you to any decisions, understanding your truth and why are you here, standing your purpose, like having a sense of self, like this is why I'm here, this is my purpose. So now once you got that under control, you're building your confidence up, you're ready to go. Now you're working up to your heart chakra. Your heart chakra deals with your emotions, and it pretty much deals with the ego. And that's what we deal with. Is the ego is very important. And this is what the mind and the heart deals with. And, you're always supposed to listen to your heart. We're in society and it's dealing with, I got to think, which can contribute to much more chaos into your environment, much more of a headaches and migraines, right? But if you should have just listened to your heart, and you're just like, you know what? I knew I should have listened to my heart. Exactly. So once you start doing that, you start unlocking things, you start unlocking your throat chakra, right? Now you can speak your truth. Now I can say, okay, I'm listening to my heart now. I'm standing in my truth. I know what I'm listening to is true. Now I can talk and say, hey, this is why I'm here. This is my purpose. I'm standing up. Once you're standing into your truth, now you're getting to your third eye. Your third eye, this is the interesting part because this is the connection to the divine, the gateway to getting the downloaded codes. They portray this into the matrix. When you got the call, operator, boom, you're at that point, you're, getting into the divine, and then you start looking into your dreams. You're like, wait a minute. Was that dream actually a premonition, or was that actually something that was real? It was actually a premonition. One interesting fact is your dreams is actually an entryway to the spiritual world, and most people forget about that. And it's just like once that third eye is open, once you see things, you can't unsee it. And then finally, once you get to the crown chakra, this is when you start getting the connection to the Most High, the universe, spirit, or how we want to call it. You start getting like these spotty senses, these ESP. Like, wait a minute, why did I get that sensation? That's because your angels and spirit guides are always around you, no matter what.
We could do a million podcasts on everything you just talked about. We could do one on just spirit guides. I call them the spirit team in itself. Right. Wow. You laid that down so easily and fast and understandably than anybody I've ever heard do it before. Yeah. You hit up all 7 right there. Let's go to the third eye. So I'll share with you a while back, a couple of years ago, I had Reiki, and the practitioner said to me, your third eye is really mucked up. I cleared it about 60%, but it's still, I don't know what's going on there. And they said to me, that's your handicap. However, to make up for it, your intuition, you have a keen, this is what they said, you have a keen sense of spotting BS. and that makes up for your third eye being mucked up. I don't know if it can be cleared. I don't know, current situation. What have you ever heard anything like that before?
No, that is true. That's because your heart chakra is blocked. One interesting key, right? And if you look at the Indian culture, the goddess Lakshmi, right? She is responsible for opening up your heart chakra. So if you're not standing truth in your purpose, right? That heart chakra isn't open, which will pretty much have the connection to the third eye. It's going to be blocked. You won't be able to get those downloaded dreams. You won't be able to get the vision. So if you're not standing true in your purpose, you won't be, and your heart's not opening, of course it's going to be blocked. So there's some type of physical, emotional thing that, you got to go underneath the surface. And so Reiki will come into play to, figure out what's going on. It's nothing just emotional blockages, that you pretty much hidden in your deep subconscious. And then Reiki pretty much has a tendency of bringing it out.
Interesting. I know for a fact, I'm not going to say for a fact, it's my intuition that my throat chakra, there's something going on there. And we don't have the time to go into why I think that, but it even goes back to lineage as well, and it's even recent events. I just know it is. And there's I've kind of got proof about that. What is that when you said speaking your truth? That's the main function of the throat chakra.
Yes, it's really speaking your truth and not really worried about what society and others are basically worried about what you could say. A lot of it deals with what are others going to think about, like, if I say this, or what are others going to think? No, it's your own journey. You are in control of your own video game, right? So why are you worried about it? You came into this earth by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself. So why are you worried about it?
It's an interesting thought that you just said. What you just said there is so impactful and so important, because many of us are afraid to be with ourselves. We find things to do. We, hook up, hang out with people. There's always things going on. But once you're comfortable with yourself, game changer, like they say, you need to love yourself. Many of us can't even do that. Can't even walk in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? I love you. You're amazing. I can't believe you. What you just did. But you just said it right there. We arrive in this world by ourselves. Okay. Help from mom and dad, but and we leave. But nobody's come with us. Nobody came with us
Exactly.
when we got here.
Right.
Wow. Wow. I never thought of it that way. Tell me about your journey, Dante. You got a lot going on there, right down to the mediumship part of it. Where did it begin?
Yeah. Gotcha, no worries. So pretty much everybody has like their traumatic spiritual awakening, right? It was just an awful experience. So I was in a relationship and went through a bad breakup and started to go start seeking advice. I went to an intuitive reader, and as I was there, my hands started to get really sweaty. And I was like, what's going on? This never happened before, right? So then I did a past life reading, which is basically you going back into your subconscious to see, who was I in a past life. So I was like, oh, I was a shaman. Wait a minute, shaman with the pharmacy. Oh, everything lines up now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my calling. Wow. So then when that kicked in, I started getting like intuitive dreams, and I started getting like things about like Egypt and pyramids. And I was like, what is this? What is going on? And all of a sudden I just started having this connection. And, all of a sudden I started talking to, the Egyptian god Anubis. And then all of a sudden I just started having conversations, and things just started taking off. I've communicated with the goddess Hecate, and she's responsible for responsible for the goddess of earth magic and necromancy, which is basically just like, getting to your higher self, figuring out like the herbs and earth magic to this earth, and really just, contribute towards healing and stuff like that. So it's a lot of ancestors that just pop up, and they just want to say hello and just know that we're here. And, a lot of my clients and patients always want to get in contact with their passed over loved ones. And, I can resonate with this because I had my grandmother. She passed away 2 years ago, and she was basically my best friend. And then I will always see this number 544, and that will always pop up. And that was basically like the first first 3 digits of her phone number. So every time I see that number, she will always just come around, and I'll get like a little spirit hand, like on my, like touching my hand on my shoulder. And she's like, she's always here. And like, she's always present. They're always here with us, no matter what.
I get you on that. My mom passed, it'll be 6 years ago in 2 days. And I get very vivid, very specific symbols and signs from her. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
It's if it supports you to see a butterfly go by or see a penny heads up, somebody,
Yeah.
that's good for some people.
Exactly.
I need more than that. And she sends it. I remember I was in a challenging situation. It was a life-changing potential situation. I had a meeting, and it was the first time I vibed my mom. And I'm like, Mom, make sure this goes okay, please. I was vibing her the night before. The morning of, I'm like, Mom, please, just show me you're there. And I drive to the meeting. I pull into the parking lot, 9:22 a.m., and I look down at my energy drink in the console, and the expiration date was her birthday. And that's just one of many. And that was like, okay, thanks, Mom. Gotcha. And everything turned out fabulous. All of this being said, you talked about signs from your grandma, me, my mom, all of that. I heard this recently, and I want your take on it.
Sure.
I really do.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about, religion, whatever you believe is your belief. But somebody said recently, yes, when you get those signs from loved ones and they're specific, it's really not them. It's God doing it to help you feel better and support you. And I just heard this recently. What are your thoughts about that?
Got it. So that statement is true, because you have to understand who created us. The Most High, right? Source, universe, source. We all came from source. So every one of us has a little piece of God in us. So when it shows up, it's like, hey, God, it's saying hello. Because at the end of the day, who are you returning back to? Source. So it's basically source is this huge source of information. And then we're just this tiny spark going back up. Whoop, and that's it. So God, yes, God is in you. God is everywhere.
Yeah. So there could be some truth in terms of the intervention of the signs we all see.
Yes. Yes.
They had to come from somewhere, and one might believe, oh, your loved one is with God, and it's like, let's send it down to him or her,
Exactly.
because they're looking for support, and maybe it's closure, just comfort, whatever it might be. You got a lot going on there. The medium side of you, can you connect with others' loved ones? Have you?
Yes. I have. It's crazy because it's a lot of different ways that you can connect with them. You can connect with them through meditation. You can connect with them through a picture. You can connect with them through an object. You can connect with them through like, I can try to visualize, and sometimes a yearbook picture of a past over loved one to pop up, and then you just start getting intuitive hits and then just start getting downloads. And sometimes you might not get anything, and it's okay. Sometimes they just don't want to talk.
When it comes to Reiki, is that all about chakra balancing? It's all under one umbrella, the Reiki umbrella?
I would say Reiki does have a spiritual component to it as well, because you have to understand that with Reiki, you have what is known as Reiki Ascendant Masters, right? And basically, these are previous masters that were pretty much here, contribute to the lifestyle Reiki, practice of Reiki, and they eventually move on. And then sometimes when I'm doing Reiki, and sometimes you can literally call them in, and I like to call them like your spiritual surgery Reiki team, and they will come in and just, help you with Reiki. I had a client one time, I was like, wait, who is at my foot? I'm just like, well, it's a Reiki master that's there that's still giving you, balancing out your root chakra. It's crazy. Anybody would just come in at any random given time.
Wow. You run deep.
Yeah.
This is way deeper than I ever expected. And even down to harnessing the power of crystals, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Like, oh, I love crystals. Like, the thing about crystals, people now these days just look at them like, oh, they're just these shiny rocks. Like, no, like these were like given during like the ancient times. Like, they hold consciousness. Like, if you look at the amethyst crystal, right? Amethyst is very good for crown chakra and third eye. So if you're pretty much having trouble, remember your dreams at night, or if you really just want to connect with your third eye, just put it underneath your pillow. And then, it will literally enhance like your connection to like the divine, and will also balance out. And the good thing about amethyst is it will also balance out your 7 chakras. So it's kind of like a recycling system. So you can wake up in the morning feeling refreshed.
Amazing. What's your go-to? Is it an amethyst?
That is a good question. I would probably say my favorite would be petrified wood, because I love to be in nature and it really keeps me grounded. So another thing that ties into spirituality is basically the zodiac signs, right? So I'm an Aries. So basically I'm a fire sign.
Of course you are, man. Everybody in my, including, hang tight. My mom was an Aries. So there's no coincidences here. My youngest daughter is an Aries, born 2 days apart from my mom.
Wow.
Of course. Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, exactly. No worries. So that fire, we have to control it. And one of the lessons that I have to learn, because we're all down here learning lessons, right? Everything is based on the zodiac sign. So one of my lessons is that I had to slow down. So I need petrified wood to say, hold on, slow down. You're moving too fast. And just relax. And another lesson that an Aries had to learn is that we take on too many projects. I'll start this. And petrified wood will keep me solid. Say, I need you to focus on this one project and move on. And it works.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. We all should be or need to be grounded. Many different ways to do that. I'm going to tell you, there's been some times where I've come home from work and something said, I need to go up to that tree that's in front of my place and hug it. And just like, just say, hey, what's going on? Just to get grounded. Or you can walk barefoot, whatever it might be. Never thought of the petrified wood. And then you can carry it with you. And then you're grounded maybe 24/7, right?
Exactly. And the good thing about it is it's non-toxic. It can't do anything to you. And the good thing about Reiki energy, it won't hurt you. It will not harm you. The only thing is you'll get too cooked and you'll pass out. That's it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've done them virtually. I've done them in person. And I remember one I did in person, fell asleep. I don't snore, but the person I was with when we went to go, she goes, you realize you were snoring like loud? I'm like, really? Because it was so relaxing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
What do people tell you after a Reiki session? How do they describe it?
It's like they're speechless, because a lot of the clients that I have, they haven't had Reiki in about 10 or 12 years. And it's just like, well, this is what I remember the last time. And it's just when they come back and see me, or even that they're having their first session, they're just like, wow, like, can we book another session? I'm like, sure, come back. Let's do it. It's just something that you can't explain. It's just source, universe energy, and just comforting. And it's like, it's healing. It's just like the grandma love that you will always just want. And that's always there for you. And it's just, you can't explain it. It's just a great experience.
Yeah. There's been times where after a session, I felt lighter, airier. There's been other times where I was kind of tired, but that one particular session, the next day, I had so much clarity on things that we're trying to get done, work out, figure out. It was like, what the heck? Did I get a good night's sleep? No, it was the Reiki. Yes, we got it done. The pharmaceutical side of you, does that ever come into play with any of the healing? I'm not saying you prescribe things or anything like that, but does that help you in your journey to help others through energy healing?
Yeah, it really does, because a lot of patients some of them pretty much are coming more of a holistic approach. And a lot of them will say, hey, I'm on this certain medication. How would this interact with natural medications? Or if I take, I don't know, yohimbine root, or what is this going to actually do to my blood pressure? Or if I take ginger, is that going to upset my lisinopril that I'm taking, et cetera, right? A lot of them are just trying to shift from like the pharmaceutical perspective, just come from a natural holistic approach. So it's just more so just having that initial talk like, hey, natural medications are okay. And it's okay to go to alternative approach. You have free will at the end of the day. You just have a choice.
So quick question, and just so you know that I talk the talk and walk the talk as you do, but you go way deeper. My feet are on a grounding mat at this very moment. And okay. I'm going to reach over. Haven't hit this up yet, but turmeric. Okay. I've been hearing so many great things about it. It can, potentially stave off cancer and things like that. I have organic turmeric. I haven't opened this up yet. Okay. What can you tell me about turmeric?
So turmeric is really good for like anti-inflammatory properties. So it's really good for that. It was actually used in the Indian culture and actually used in ancient Egyptian times to really help with pain and inflammation. So if you're really having that, it's really good to use, really. And it's actually good if you want to do like put in your food like carrots, definitely do it. It's really good. So there's no harm in using it. Obviously, don't overdo it, but as a preemptive thing. Let's say you feel fine. Yeah.
But I guess I should preface this by saying, tell me if I'm right about this. We all have inflammation somewhere, somehow.
Exactly.
Wow. How do we book a session with you?
So pretty much you can just go to my website. It is thepharmdhealer.com. It's very straightforward. You can just look over my website, book now, and then it'll take you to that separate website on Schedulicity. And then it literally just has like all of my list of services. And then you'll just book a session. That's about it.
Very cool. When we say farm, it's PHARM, as in pharmacy, not as in where things are grown. And the D, is that, when we say Farm D, is that for Dante?
Well, that's actually the doctor of pharmacy.
Oh.
It's short for Doctor of Pharmacy. Yeah. So that's actually Farm D. Yeah. And actually, Farm D it is for Dante. So it works out perfect.
It is what you want it to be.
Exactly.
Super cool. Great talking with you. So much that we could talk about. We're out of time, but even right down to, tarot cards, oracle cards, and all of that. But if you haven't tried this, if you haven't looked at energy healing, game changer. Yeah. I was skeptical until I had it done, and you don't have to do anything. That's it. You could fall asleep if you want. It's being done for you.
Exactly.
No pain involved. It's not like you even have to go to a therapist and give up all secrets and be uncomfortable. It's been around for so long, and we're still talking about it because it truly works. ThePharmDHealer.com. Dante, great talking with you. You are so grounded and so full of energy. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Likewise. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.